OK, let's take a look at those Newspoll figures that have come out this morning. And it's been an interesting couple of weeks for the government. And it would seem, though, that while the primary vote and the two-party preferred vote haven't changed all that much, satisfaction in the leader's performance has, Michael.
It has, more or less within the margin of error, but certainly a welcome relief there for Julia Gillard. As you see, a rise of 3%, a similar fall for Tony Abbott. Now, opinion pollsters behind the Newspoll say that could be a reflection of some people in the electorate being a bit concerned about what they see as the overly aggressive approach that Tony Abbott has taken to pursuing political stories like the Craig Thomson affair.
And you would, reading it from the government's point of view, the fact that they have had to weather the storm of the Craig Thomson affair, and as well as that the Peter Slipper saga does continue, it would seem that that bounce that they got 2 weeks ago after handing down the budget, they've managed to maintain those figures.
They've managed to maintain it, but it's still very much within that margin of error. Let's show you now the primary vote figures, which shows that, yes, there has been a 2% bump for the Labor Party, a 1% rise for the Coalition. Still a long way for the Labor Party to go, because on the two-party preferred basis, the Coalition still enjoys a thumping election-winning lead there. Now, the Labor Party's problems are far from over, because in Canberra today, we're going to see potentially one of the most fiery caucus meetings, Karina, we've seen there in some time.
And that's in relation to this enterprise migration agreement that came into effect was announced by the Immigration Minister, Chris Bowen, last Friday. Of course, the argument since then is whether the Prime Minister had been properly informed of it. She said in question time yesterday that she was told about it last Wednesday.
That's right. And more to the point, Labor Party MPs are very much determined in this meeting to push for much greater opportunities for Australian workers to get jobs in projects like Gina Rinehart's Roy Hill iron ore operation, as well as other big mining projects in the country. They're also very, very concerned that despite any difference over timeline as to when the Prime Minister's office knew or when the Resources Minister went ahead with the project, that backbenchers weren't consulted. That is the nub of their anchor today, and that is expected to see potentially some very fiery contributions by concerned backbenchers in the forum of the Labor Party caucus.
And we've already heard Senator Doug Cameron very upset at this move, and he's likely to be quite vocal in that meeting. And
also, the other ball in the air, of course, is the Craig Thomson saga. And Chris Ullman on 7:30 last night had a very interesting story that raised questions about Michael Lawler. Now, he's the Vice President of Fair Work Australia, also happens to be the partner of Cathy Jackson from the Health Services Union. And Chris put to air some documents that showed Michael Lawler wrote to New South Wales Police expressing very strong concern over the behaviour of some other Health Services Union officials.
He wrote to police last year saying that even though he is a Fair Work Australia official, that he wrote as a private citizen and as the partner of Cathy Jackson, and it basically shows that he was deeply involved in the protracted infighting at the HSU. In that document that he sent to police, there were attachments including minutes of HSU executive meeting texts from Cathy Jackson's phone and details of complaints sent to the then Fair Work Australia president about Michael Lawler's interference in HSU affairs.
Michael Lawler very strongly denies there's any conflict of interest.